All right, here we go. Hi, everyone. Welcome. I will just give you a minute to get your audio set up.
I see Cynthia's there too.
Is she? Yay. Hello, Cynthia. Okay, full faculty. That makes me happy. Okay, cool. So it looks like everyone is all connected to their audio. Welcome to our kickoff event. We are so happy to have you here. Just so that you know, the meeting is recorded, so please keep yourself on mute unless you have a question, in which case feel free to ask it. The meeting will be uploaded to the live events section of the course probably an hour or so after the meeting. So if there's anything you want to come back and watch, please feel free. So I guess we will start you off with some introductions from your faculty. So we will start with Sandy Pentland.
Hi there, Sandy Pentland. Obviously at MIT, and I've been doing AI for a long time. And so I have quite a bit of familiarity with it. I've started a number of companies in the area. And I think that the main thing that I am excited about that I'd like to get across is that it isn't that hard. There's a lot of hype about, oh, science fiction-y, the world's going to end, robot overlords. But actually, there are places to start that are pretty simple. It's sort of like Excel spreadsheets on steroids. You have to be careful about how you do it because it's a new domain. And just like with money or something like that, with HR, you know, there's ways to do it to be safe. There's ways to do it to make sure you're doing the right thing. And you can't just move fast and break things. That's a recipe for ending up broken. and so we hope to sort of get across to you that this all will feel a little bit familiar as long as you start modestly and not try to take over the world right out of the bat, and pay attention to, you know, what this is doing to all of the stakeholders and how you need to put this into the fabric of your larger organization. And if you treat it the way you would treat other sorts of things where you were introducing them into the mix, I think it's not that difficult and it can be quite successful to do. So that's what I'm interested in communicating and giving you the tools to do. So that's it for me.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sandy. I will hand over now to another of your faculty members, Kate Darling.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kate Darling. I'm a research scientist at the Media Lab at MIT. I have a legal and social sciences background, so I work on the social, legal, and ethical implications of automated technologies. And I think what I'm most excited about in this course is to impart the idea that the true potential of automated technologies like AI and robotics is not to recreate something that we already have, a skill set or an intelligence that we as humans have, but rather it's to partner with the technologies in what we're trying to achieve. And so we use the concept of extended intelligence, and I hope that you take that with you throughout the course.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Kate. And now I'll pass you on to Matt Daggett, another of your faculty members.
Good morning, everyone. Happy to be here. My name is Matt Daggett. I'm over at MIT's Lincoln Laboratory, and I've been here for about 17 years, primarily building and testing and fielding decision support systems for various organizations. I'm all very excited that you're here for this course. What I think is exciting, what I'd like to impart with you, is really thinking about the user's perspective. How can you figure out where in your organization that some of these technologies may be amenable towards assisting, much in the same way that Kate and Sandy described? And then how do you define what success looks like, and how do you measure that and really thinking about adoption in the workforce as you start to move these things into your organization. So really thinking about some of those sticky things, such as the trust and reliance and automation and potential ethical implications of how we use data. And we're very much moving into a time of not could we, but should we? And so these are all important questions as you start to consider how these types of techniques and technologies and capabilities can help you and your organization. So thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, Matt. And on to our final faculty member, Cynthia Brazil.
Hi, everyone. I'm Cynthia Brazil. We actually spoke last week. I'm the principal investigator of the larger project of which this experimental course is a part of. So welcome. So happy for you to be here, and thank you for participating in our research. So I am a professor at the Media Lab with Sandy and Kate. We're all from the Media Lab. I founded the group called the Personal Robots Group. So I'm very much coming from the domain of AI, and the area of AI that I am a pioneer of is called social robotics and human robot interaction. So we're very interested in developing personified AI systems that collaborate with people across a variety of tasks like education, health, wellness, all kinds of things to help people be more effective, more efficient, have a better experience, be more successful. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. I'm also the MIT Dean for Digital Learning. So I'm very excited and passionate about how new technologies and pedagogies can be applied to help all kinds of people learn, kind of these amazing new technologies that often MIT is the one pioneering or being one of the big movers and shakers in, so that it can come out into the world in a way that help us all build a better world. So I'm really excited about this course. So as you've heard, like the kind of key premise of this is extended intelligence. So, as opposed to kind of we call the good old fashioned perspective on AI, which is kind of build something that thinks like a person, that all the concerns and fears about replacing people kind of still is very palpable, I think, in how the media talks about AI. This course is all about how AI can help us be more efficient, more effective, more successful, make better decisions. Because ultimately it's all about people. And for you in the Air Force, you understand, your organization is ultimately all about your people. So how do we help your people, rock even more with AI? And I think the element that I'm trying to bring into this particular course is just a deeper appreciation of the design, the experience design, how we create these collaborative AI technologies that interact with us, that support a more holistic human experience. So not just our cognitive decision-making, but the decisions we make is very much influenced by our social interactions, our emotional experience. It's all of these things. And often our AI systems that are built today only consider the cognitive analytical and kind of ignores everything else. And yet all that other stuff really has an impact on the decisions we make and how we collaborate as teams. So the perspective that I'm bringing to this course is really just a much deeper understanding and appreciation that those aspects, when you talk about extending intelligence and building systems that are well designed to support the human experience, that is the key appreciation and perspective I'm bringing to you, and helping you tie that experiential aspect to the actual outcomes. They actually have very practical, measurable outcomes in terms of human performance. So if you want to enhance your team's performance, you want to be, again, aware and appreciate of all of these other kinds of design decisions, right? And experience decisions that can play a role.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So those are your 4 faculty members. You will have the opportunity halfway through the course to ask them any questions in our mid-course event. So please start thinking about your questions. I will create a channel over the next couple of days where you can post them in Riff, and then you'll get the chance to ask them anything that you have thought of throughout the course halfway through. So faculty, thank you for coming. If you need to drop off, please feel free. Your faculty members, everyone. And now I will introduce you to your team of learning facilitators. Your learning facilitators will be with you and your capstone groups throughout the course. Each small group will be assigned a learning facilitator, and they will also have the lead learning facilitator in there too for any questions that you might want to ask them. So I will start you off with your lead learning facilitator, who is Ritwik Roy.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ritwik, and it's my pleasure to be your lead learning facilitator. By way of background, I come from the engineering R&D side. I'm a senior development manager at Dassault Systems Simulia R&D. I have a PhD in computational mechanics and an MBA with a focus in information systems. Data, as you all know, these days is the fuel kind of which feeds the AI machinery, and we are all progressing towards big data, as you are all aware of. And we are building, sophisticated AI models with the large amount of information buried in big data. But at the other end of the data spectrum, where you have limited amount of data, we have some very important and challenging problems to solve. Take, for example, an aircraft body. The composite materials which go into these structures are very hard to characterize and design. Similarly, discovering newer types of material or finding defects in existing structures based on instrumented system. These are some of the real important and challenging problems. But at the same time, if you think about it, there are only so many experiments we can perform in labs to, if you want to design new materials. So data is very limited. The question is, how can we apply machine learning techniques to these kinds of fields, given that data is limited? In other words, how do you make up for the lack of information or signal when it comes to training, machine learning models in this space? And that is an area that I do one of my areas of research. Specifically, it's called physics-informed neural networks. So I only mention it to you just to illustrate how far some of these techniques have come, and that we can handle actually even situations where information itself is lacking. But and we can solve problems which were till recent times almost considered intractable. But despite of all the advancements that we have in AI systems research, when it comes to deploying these methods in the workspace, we run into various organizational issues. And like you heard from the faculty members, that these are real challenges. And in this course, you will be learning about that. What are the things to keep in mind when you design human AI systems? What are the barriers you can expect in your workplace? And how you can overcome those barriers and deploy successfully and maintain these systems. So along with all my other fellow facilitators, I'm really excited to learn from you as well, because you bring a wide range of diverse expertise. So welcome to human AI collaboration in the workforce. Thank you.
Thank you, Ritwik. Now I will pass you on to another learning facilitator, MK Ayadi.
Thank you, Rachel. Hello, everyone, and I'm happy to be with all of you today. My name is Muwafaq, and you can call me MK. It's easier for everyone. It's also easier to remember. I will be one of your learning facilitators on this program. And you can think of me as your geek friend during this program. Like you can see, I'm very easy approachable. You can DM me about any subject, and I will tell you a little bit about myself. So currently I'm based in Amsterdam. I'm working as an AI and data engineer. So it's two different fields, but now we are trying to find an underlining to combine both of them. I'm applying this for Nike European headquarters. We are supporting operations in 3 different continents. And before that, I had experience in different banks, regular banks, investment banks. And with big tech companies like Google, Facebook, and Amazon, I had short roles like learning facilitators. So with Google, I was a cloud mentor. With Facebook, I was the artificial intelligence PyTorch framework learning facilitator. And also with Amazon, I was ambassador connecting the US entrepreneurial mindset with the North African startups. As you can see, I'm not your typical consultant. I'm the kind of guy that wants to strike the conversation. I'm a very geeky person, and I'm actually leading teams, but I try to lead by example, not only doing the management part, but I'm actually doing the actual coding, which sometimes can be a bit boring, but like with great people, there is a lot of fun. So the subject for today will not be financial services or e-commerce like I do in my full-time job. It's a small collaboration with my fellow AI engineer friends. So in our spare time, so this subject I usually shy away a little bit from because it's a bit controversial, but lately I've been seeing it in a different way, which is social media recommendation systems. So with my friends, we try to set some guidelines to study how the recommendation system for Facebook is working. This is not a rigorous experiment. This is just for our own sake. And we are trying to answer this question. Is Facebook recommendation system reshaping our consumption behavior, or is it reinforcing our existing behavior patterns? And after a couple of months, putting likes and putting the hugging face and putting the angry button, we have concluded that we have discovered that the recommendation system is reflecting our own behavior, but the ads and the sponsored ads can nudge us toward different consumptual behavior. So actually all the blaming and demonizing of the media to the social networking companies is a bit exaggerated. It's more of a clickbait. Recommendation systems are actually reflecting what we are looking for. I will not go into details because this is a bit tricky, but to consider the AI human collaboration, for me, I'm a big music festival fan. I will not tell you about the genre, but it's very famous in Amsterdam. And I use Facebook recommendation system for my advantage to recommend me the best music out there to go and participate in, to recommend me the best products that I can use. I work for Nike, but sometimes I wear Adidas. And I see those ads and those discounts on the Facebook wall, and I do not make any effort. Also, I do not have polarized content on my Facebook because I know how to be responsible with that tricky recommendation system. So these kind of conversations we will have under the lead of Redvik in the open office hours. Also, we can strike them in the town square. I will put my brief description in town square after this meet, and you can also reach out on LinkedIn. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much, MK. Now I will hand you over to Cassia for her introductions.
All right. Thank you very much, Rachel. And I hope you can hear me because I'm actually right now in Davos, which is at World Economic Forum. So I'm in the Zoom at the Zoom lounge because that was the closest thing I could find to call and introduce myself. So I'm really excited to be your course facilitator. I'm actually a course or a lead course facilitator for quite a while, also on courses such as AI and data strategy and AI and data strategy for business and health tech innovations. But I also posted my profile in your town hall, so you can have a look and reach out. There's a LinkedIn. I'm a Harvard Kennedy School grad, mid-career program, which means that I studied with a lot of your colleagues, and I actually, through this engagement, really learned how how valuable and important your work is. I hope I'm going to help you with your work as well. Professionally, I deal with digital innovation, and especially digital innovation for public good and for public purpose. And within the scope of AI, of course, I am very interested in responsible AI and trustworthy tech. So this is the dimension that I'm going to bring to the table. Knowing the course, you know, how the courses go for quite a while, one thing just that I can mention is just enjoy the process. It's not about having all the answers. There's no good or bad answer. It's really about your thinking process and what kind of the effort that you're gonna put into it and how you're gonna collaborate with your teams as well. And of course, we are always there to answer any of your questions. And if you wonder what's this accent that I have, I'm originally Polish. So now based in Europe, and just within 1 month, I think I'm gonna be back in US as I'm already got my green card. So I hope to talk to you all soon, and I have to switch off because I'm in the middle of events, but see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Kasia. Now I will pass you on to Dash Devikaran, another of your learning facilitators.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm Dash. I have been, my expertise was an aerospace focused unmanned aircraft pilot. Currently, I work for AFWERX, the innovation arm for Air Force. And as I have worked with technology extensively, especially focused on emerging technologies and integrating it within agencies and organizations. Prior to working with AFWERX, now I've been with AFWERX for over 2 years, but prior to working with AFWERX, I worked with state and local government, federal agencies, helping build agencies, their programs from scratch. Also, I have been brought in when programs need to bring in innovation. So I have worked extensively on organizational restructuring, program management, data management efforts and stuff. Currently, within AFWERX, I'm the head of airspace innovation and prime partnerships. So many of you all will, at some point we may meet either in person or through the efforts of AFWERX. So I look forward to being a part of this course and learning from you all, as well as trying to help you all in your efforts moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And finally, I will let you hear from Burak Özkan.
Hello, everyone. Fantastic to be here. Really excited to be part of your learning journey in this program. My name is Burak Özkan. I live in London. By way of backgrounds, I am trained as an industrial engineer, so quite familiar with the old ways of operations research and optimization and linear and nonlinear programming. And I think I might not go back all the way to doing everything by hand, but it was definitely one of the AI winters that I studied during. But right now, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've been building businesses in a variety of industries, but the particular venture that's quite relevant for this course and then for our learning experience is the one that I'm working on right now, which is Premind AI. It's an AI first venture that's we've been working on for about 3.5 years now, which brings data science, computer science, and behavioral science concepts together to make financial market predictions based on news events that take place. So I'll be happy to go into where we got to with that venture and the journey we've been through in terms of going through the R&D phase and iterating different versions of our models and testing, learning, scrapping a lot of different ideas. But aside from that, what I'd like to share with you in terms of my view on the whole new AI-powered world is that AI-powered technology has become quite prevalent and is going to become even more prevalent as we progress into this decade and this future. And I think we are at the cusp of almost a new era where our prevailing way of understanding and explaining what's around us is almost being challenged. And what I mean by that is you might have seen these recent developments over the past couple of years, that there are models that are being built where, I mean, we all know AI can draw conclusions, make predictions, but now we have started to bring AI from just being a tool, sort of a state, into becoming a partner where we start delegating decisions. So much so that there are AI tools that actually perceive the world in a completely different way than we do. So just to give you an example, you might have heard of the AlphaZero AI model that was built to play chess, which is one of the classical examples of how AI has progressed in its capability. That AlphaZero deep learning model basically trained itself without any guidance as such from any human understanding of this millennium-old game, and it basically, by playing against itself, it built different chess strategies that even the grandmasters like Kasparov have not even thought about. And he had a comment about AlphaZero, saying it has shaken the chess world at its roots. Another example is from the academic team that's in this program. They probably know much more detail about it. Is the AI model built to develop a new antibiotic? And in a nutshell, the story is that MIT builds a deep learning model, throws a couple of thousands of example molecules with the defined characteristics that translate into how strong that antibiotic is. And the deep learning model basically extracts features that human researchers, scientists did not even think about when they threw in the training data set in the AI model, and it came up with a completely new molecule to be used as an antibiotic, and called halicin, which I think harkens back to Space Odyssey's HAL, if you remember that. So as we go into this new epoch where AI can actually start making decisions on behalf of us and perceive the reality different than us, at individual, organizational, and societal level, how we are going to organize and prepare ourselves in this new world is what's what actually fascinates me. I mean, as human beings, we are familiar with machines automating, augmenting, or replacing manual labor. I mean, that's basically what the what happened in late 18th and 19th century, and we still feel the impacts of that industrialization phase. And now we are going to see an intelligent version of it taking place at a different mental plane, if you will. So I'll be happy to go into further discussions on all these topics and my experience at Premind. As the other facilitators shared, we are all pretty much quite approachable, reachable, and don't necessarily constrain yourself with specifically the course material. Any topics you might talk about, ask questions about, may that be starting a venture or AI or its applications or financial markets, in my case, please feel free. Again, very excited to be part of the learning experience with you, and looking forward to getting to know you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Unfortunately, there is one learning facilitator who is not here at the moment. His name is Vishal Verma. Some of you may have him in your groups, some of you may not, but he will post his introduction in Riff if he hasn't done so already. So thank you to all of our learning facilitators. If you guys have to drop off, please feel free. If you want to stay and join the breakout rooms, that's also fine, up to you. Just some quick things from the success team before I put you into your breakout rooms. I'm Rachel. I'm your lead success coach on the course. You will see me in the Riff channels. I might reply to some of your emails. And if you're based in Asia or Europe, you are likely to hear from me more often than Kim. Your other success coach is Kim Potter. Kim, would you like to say some introductory words, or are you good?
Sure, I get to say hello, everyone, and I'm excited to be your success coach. And I'm here to really support you with most primarily the non-content questions or concerns that you might have throughout the program. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me via email or Riff. And the email address, mitsuccess@esmelearning.com, is about on every page in the course. So you'll find it very easily. I look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks, Kim. So let me just share my screen with you. I just have a little presentation in case you've missed any orientation tasks. 1 second. Okay, so I assume that most people who are on this call have made it to the course, hopefully. If you haven't made it to the course yet, please do access it today or tomorrow. Module 1 kicks off tomorrow at 11 o'clock UTC. So if you're not in there, please get in there. Once you reach your course dashboard, you can just click, it will say start course, mine says resume, and that'll take you into the course. Some important things for you during orientation. Obviously, orientation ends tomorrow, but you have until the 24th to do some of your tasks. So verify your identity, very important. If you don't do this, you will not receive your certificate. Same goes for accepting the honour code, terms of service and privacy policy. You must accept all 3 of these. If you accept one of the 3, we will chase you. Again, you will not get your certificate. So please make sure that you do both of those steps as soon as possible, ideally this week. If not, Kim or myself will follow up with you about accessing these and getting them completed. If you have any problems with ID verification, just reach out. As Kim and I say, we are always available for any questions you have, and we have other processes for that if this is not working. If you haven't accessed Riff, I'm sure most of you again have, you can find a link to it in section 0.6. That will just take you through to our messaging software. It will open up Town Square and course support. Again, post any questions that you have in there. You can see all of your peers in Riff as well. This is what Riff looks like if you've not seen it already. So down the left-hand side, you have a list of channels, different forums, different announcements. Announcements is where I will be most of the time, also in course support. And then in the module forums will be where your learning facilitators will be answering questions or posting discussion points and things like that. You can update your profile on the right-hand side, change your profile picture, change your name, whatever you want, up to you. And then you can update your settings as well, top right. So if you don't want to get a notification every time we post something, just change it there. You can change it so that it notifies you if everyone is mentioned, if it's just you that's mentioned, or if you want every message. I'm not sure why you would, but if you do, feel free, make that your setting. Tomorrow afternoon, I've seen one question so far about capstone groups. These have not yet been added into Riff. They will be tonight and tomorrow morning, my time. So by 11 o'clock UTC tomorrow, you should, fingers crossed, see your group on the left-hand side. It'll be called Capstone and then have an AI related name. If you cannot see your capstone group tomorrow, don't panic, it's normal. Refreshing Riff itself will not bring it up for you. So what you'll have to do is go back to the course, click any link that takes you through to Riff, and then your group should appear. If at that point your group doesn't appear, then again, reach out to myself or Kim and we will be able to find it for you. And in a second, I will put you into some breakout rooms. So I will come through the groups and post these in the chat as well. Some things for you to discuss. You can introduce yourselves, say what you would like to get out of the course. Feel free to discuss top 3 reasons why you believe human AI collaboration is great for the workplace. You can also discuss the top 3 reasons that you think are the main pitfalls of the collaboration in the workplace. And if you would like to, please feel free to share them in the Riff Town Square. So just give me 1 minute, I will get you all set up in those groups. I see some learning facilitators are still hanging around, so they will pop in and out of your groups to have some discussion. So just give me 1 second and I'll get that done. Oh no, something bad has happened. Oh, okay. Okay, your breakout rooms should be open. You should have received a message to join them. I will be waiting here if you need any help.